Yeah, you talked about your foray into the cricket world. Tell us a little bit more about that. So this is in a way your startup journey as well.
Yeah, it is. I actually, I'm very excited because, when RCB approached us and I had just announced my retirement, and first of all, we were so excited that there's finally a women's league and, these girls are going to get so much exposure. And then RCB approached us and I was like, I know nothing about cricket. I mean, I've been around cricket all my life, obviously by default, but I literally know nothing about cricket. And they're like, we do not need you for cricket. We need you to talk about this. Like what, the conversation that I had with Harleen, that's the conversation that, and I was like, you know what, like, this is it. This is the change that we are looking for, where we have someone who's, like, I was able to have that experience over the last 20 years. And if I'm able to help these girls cope with that pressure and cope with that spotlight and cope with the amount of money running on them, because when the money rises, everything else rises, right? And the pressure rises and the criticism rises and the opinions rise. So I was like, yeah, I mean, sure, it'll be interesting. And also I'm excited to get to know these girls. They're all so young. They're 23, 24, 25 years old. They're playing for their countries. So I was like, yeah, this is my cup of tea, where I want to talk to young girls, young athletes of today, especially from our country, who are the tomorrow, and try and help them cope with that, even if take off a little bit of pressure from them, dealing with wins and losses and dealing with people criticizing them for what they wear and how they look.
Which is very often. So coach Sania or mentor Sania,
No.
that's the space that you're playing in now?
I'm mentor, not coach at all, actually. There's coaches, there's a completely entire different coaching team. I'm just in there for a little bit of a mental and an aspect where I can actually share the experience that I've been through. Because, one of the other things is, as women, and a lot of women will tell you, no matter what field they're in, we're first judged for the way that you look and then what you do. And that is, any woman in any field will tell you that. That's going to happen to these girls now. Yeah. That's going to happen, and it's very unfortunate, but that's the reality of life. And, women like you and I have to cope with that and try and counter that and be like, no, we're good at what we do first, rather than what we look or how we look or what we wear. So those are things that I've obviously had first-hand experience with many times. And yeah, so I'm really excited about it. I'm actually joining the team in a couple of days.
Well, we wish you the very best of luck with this new role and this new avatar that you're taking on. But Sania, let's talk a little bit about tennis. What have been the most exciting matches that you've had? 1 or 3 or 5, whatever that you'd like to list. So who's been the most fun that you've had playing with?
Well, I think, one of the first matches of my career when I was 18 years old was against Svetlana Kuznetsova, and it was in Dubai, actually. And it was just my first breakthrough year. She was the reigning US Open champion at that point, and I twisted my ankle during the match, and I was down 4-love, and I just popped a few painkillers, and I was like, you know what, I can't play, I'm barely able to move. I don't know what happened. I just got in the zone and I won that match 6-4, 6-2. And even now, when I look back at that match, I'm like, I feel like I was possessed, like it was weird. And I was like, I was seeing the ball like a watermelon, and I was like, my God, I felt like I cannot miss the ball. And that zone, as an athlete, is what we work all our lives for, that zone where you're just feeling like the court is too big and there's nobody there, and you're just hitting winners everywhere. And that's a match that will stay with me forever, even though there's been so many more like greater matches and bigger occasions that I've been able to win at, but that match stays with me forever as one of probably the greatest matches I have ever played.
But what does it feel, when you're up on that podium, when the tricolor is going up, when the anthem is playing? How do you feel then?
So the first time that I played for the country, I think that we play for the country all the time, because we're an individual sport, we're counted as playing for ourselves more than the country. But it says Sania Mirza India. Anyway, that's a debate for another day. But the first time I played Fed Cup, which was a team event for India, was in 2001 or 2002. So I was 14 years old. And I actually probably didn't understand the magnitude of that feeling at 14. But it truly, as years went by, playing at 4 Olympics and playing Asian Games, and I started playing, the first Asian game that I played was in 2002. And I was 15 when I won that medal, you know, and we came back with a bronze medal. And that, I think, moment really was like, you know what, there's a national anthem going off because of what you've done. You know, there's a flag going up there because of what you've done. And that's a feeling I think I cannot do justice by describing in words. Because as people, our biggest joy is to represent our country in the best way possible. And as an athlete, that is the only thing that you can ever dream of, is to play for your country and win for your country. I mean, playing is great. That's a dream for most people. But to win for your country and to know that there are things people are actually, everybody's looking up at the flag of your country's flag because of you is a very, very special.
Let me end by asking you, you know, where do you see yourself now? What are the next goals that you've set for yourself? What is motivating you to get up and get out there in the morning now?
I mean, right this moment, I'm a person of very short-term goals, and I don't really set goals like 5 years or 10 years in advance. And right now, this morning, my goal was to wake up because I landed at 4:30 a.m. in the morning, and I was like, I really need to get to this event, and that's why I was late by half an hour.
By the way.
Because I landed from Mumbai, and I was like, I have to make it to this event, and still I was late, and I'm really sorry for that. But my goals are, like I said, I mean, like we spoke about, try and you know, help the younger generation in whatever way capacity, whatever way possible for me, if they need the help. Tennis, yes, but also other sports, other athletes. I've actually just started 4 tennis centers here in Dubai. I have one running in Hyderabad, which is a huge academy. I'll get a little bit more actively involved in that because I've been on the tour for so long, but I'm actually getting into paddle a little bit. I think everybody's told me it's really exciting to play, so I've only tried it once or twice. I suck, but I'm going to try and get better at that. Actually we're starting a new paddle center tomorrow as we speak.